This is a collection of actually Zinnia vases. They come in 3 sizes, the grouping of 5, the grouping of 3, and of course the singles. They seem very fragile, but they're really very sturdy considering, because especially the ones that are joined together like this is really fantastic. It's centrally balanced because it goes this way and that way evenly, so it gives you a very balanced feel. And especially if you add in sand, this particular one is that beautiful lime green sand. It's just such a gorgeous color today with a lot of the fresh flowers. So I filled that, and of course what you're going to do is use the funnel and fill it in with the funnel. That's the best way to use this sand. The other thing that I want to show, feature of this, is that it's interconnected, the vases, so that if you water into one, it fills up the whole thing, which makes the whole watering process very, very efficient. So that way you don't have to fill each one. I think this is very good for a busy florist, that we don't have to go and do this individually. But the thing about this vase is that it often is used very low, just little flowers here and there, one in each stem, and you get this very low look. But that is not the only way that you have to design into this vase. I think sometimes it's all about creating something large out of something small, and if you can do that, you can get a very elegant table center that has a see-through value, and that's what we're attempting to do here. So we have alstroemeria. I've stripped all the leaves off of it, so that then I could place it into these vases, and you can see that if I use the bend, the curve of the alstroemeria in such a way so that I make it go in towards the center from the one that's facing this direction and in towards the center, and if I do likewise with this one, bring that stem so that it comes in more towards the center like this, and maybe this one, let's do this, so that this is coming in, so that you can see that it sort of counterbalances by using the bend in the foliage. And then to finish it off, I'm going to use actually the hala, which is a Hawaiian product, or also called pandanus is its botanical name, and I'm going to slice it because the opening of those vases are very, very narrow. So this is probably the best way to use this material, because there's nothing that gives you this kind of length and the effect, the color variegation that hala gives us. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to fill in around this, some of this stem. This one looks extremely tight, so I guess I'm not going to be able to insert there, but I can go here. And so I'm going to bring these up and over, and I'm going to sort of play with that later. I'm just going to kind of have it in place so that I know what I've got going on. And so I'm going to put this in here as well. And it's all about balance. So I'm going to make sure that everything is centered on the balance of all this material. What I'm going to do now is, just to kind of keep it more in balance, is I'm going to take the dashes, the U-glue, and I'm going to take pieces of those and attach it in a few spots so that it stays in place. This is very handy, because before you had to take glue and you had to wait for it to set, and this makes it almost instant. And this way, then I can bend this downwards and bring it around, maybe like this. So it's starting to make things sort of more stay in place. I'm going to bring this a little bit more forward so that it's more centered, and I'm going to bring it over because it needs a couple more. And as you can see with hala, it's the strongest part is the rib right here that's got the V at the end. That's the strongest one, so you want to use that where you want the most stability. So that's the reason why I used it in that particular vase, and I'll probably use it from this vase here so that we have that real strong piece coming from the 2 empty vases, because the others already have that real big stems of alstroemeria in it. So I'm going to go ahead and take another piece here of the dash. And so it's really just simply taking these foliages and stems of flowers and you're adhering them together by means of the hala. And some of this, again, if I pull this like this, that helps it center and makes it even more stable. It's all about balance because you're working off of a very small piece at the bottom of the container, but interestingly enough, as small as they are, it's really quite well balanced. So this is kind of how it looks. And this one here, I'm going to bring it back in. And place it like so. And this one here, maybe we'll bring it back into the design so that you're kind of getting a very good looking linear flow. And this is really quite an amazing thing when you have a container that is as small as this is, with 3 stems of Alstroemeria and 2 stems of hala. The visual value of this is really absolutely fantastic. Look at the size of the design that I got out of this. It's really huge. And when you think about how much product actually went into it, that's sort of the beauty of this kind of concept, is that it's not always about using lots and lots of product. It's really about designing with space. The use of space gives you really the size. And it really isn't about quantity. It's a lot about quality. So this is pretty much it here, like that. There you go.